Hello, everyone. This is psychic medium and intuitive Ann Miller French of Angelic Hands, here to do this week's live Q&A. If you have questions, the universe has answers, and I am going to be stepping in today as a guide for you and offering clarification and guidance, insights, perhaps connect you with a loved one. So if you have a question regarding something that's currently going on in your life, this is your opportunity to ask me a question. So hello and welcome. I am streaming live on YouTube as well as both my platforms for Facebook. So I'm going to wait a little bit for everyone to hop on. And whoever is joining me, if you can let me know if my sound is working okay. Unfortunately, I ran into some technical difficulties this week. I literally did a live 25 to 26 minute video only to find out that the sound had been muted. Not quite sure how that happened, but the show must go on. And that was actually a message that I had commented on the feed for that particular video once I was made aware that there was no sound to it, that I would be sharing the insights regarding that segment, which was you cannot run yourself. And the message that came through with that is sooner or later, you're going to meet yourself in the mirror or meet yourself in many mirrors. As I've talked about, everyone outside of us is a mirror reflecting something back. So, if there's patterns that continue to show up, or you find that you're right smack, like you're doing a 180, revisiting something that you thought that you had addressed and it's coming up again, well, guess what? You cannot, like I said, you cannot run yourself. So it's there, it's showing up for a reason. So it's taking some time to do some of that deep inner work that I talk about. So for those of you that are joining me, if you can let me know if you can hear me okay, that would be amazing. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes before I jump into the questions. I'm not only psychic, medium, and an intuitive, but I'm also a quantum life coach. I'm the creator of the Self-Love Academy. I work with energy healing, so I'm a Reiki Master teacher, quantum energy healer. I also work with light language healing. And although I wear many different hats, my life's mission, passion, and purpose became very clear to me many years ago, based on my own personal experiences of, a lot of different things that I went through, rock bottoms, and I transformed my pain into my life's purpose. And as I embarked on holistic wellness and started to see a difference, not only in my life, but also in the lives of family members and friends that I was practicing on at the time. And even, the many years that I had acted as a mentor and a coach to others where they were looking for guidance, it was just something that came naturally to me. And I had, great love for the healing arts. And lo and behold, fast forward years later, I had a light bulb moment, and that's when I decided to start my own wellness practice. So I recently added some additional description to my website. So if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look at it, it's angelichaNds.com. That's ANGELIKHANDS.com. And my name for my practice was actually created at the time when I was visited and greeted by two angels that came to me and had extended their healing hands and had shared some very powerful yet inspirational messages. And I knew in that moment what my next steps were. And although I didn't understand anything at that time about running my own practice, starting a small business, being an entrepreneur, I just knew that those were the next steps. So followed the guidance of my heart, aka higher self, my soul. And the logo has changed slightly. Originally, it was the word angelic hands. Of course, with the hands, there was butterfly. But over time, as my life transformed and morphed, and I found that even with challenges and obstacles, very much like a hummingbird, I was able to navigate through that and still never gave up. So the butterfly was replaced with the hummingbird, as you see today on my logo. So just a little bit about me and my practice. So again, if you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, and my About Me page, a little bit more about how I got to where I'm at today. And super excited to be here with all of you for today's live Q&A. So feel free to please let me know if you can hear me okay. That would be great. And I see the first question that's coming in. So hi, Sandy. Hi, Stephanie. So Sandy is last Thursday. They crossed paths with the man at a gathering. There was a mutual attraction, but didn't speak to each other. Do you see us crossing paths once again, or again, please? So, Sandy, what I'm gonna, and I think we connected at, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we connected on the last week's Q&A. So you are seeing these beautiful mirrors reflected back to you. And as I've talked about before, and not only in last week's Q&A, but as I've shared in previous lives, many different posts on, here in Facebook land, YouTube, Instagram, you are the director, producer, creator, the star of your own universe and what it is that you'd like to create for yourself. So if you found that, with that mutual attraction and there's something that, resonated with you, knowing that everyone outside of you is a mirror reflecting something back, what I'd like you to do is do some inner dialogue work and take a pen, take some paper, and ask yourself the question. Like, first, take a breath in, followed by a breath out. Take that pen to paper and write out, why am I attracted to this person? Or, you can word it however you want. Then read the question back to yourself and then start writing out the answer. You will start to see through this inner dialogue with yourself that you'll start to get a better understanding of why you're attracting in different people. Because again, everything that's being created out here is a result of what's going on in here. So, I'm going to share this with all of you, that I had some real eye openers these past few days. I mean, we had the full moon. We're in the Mercury retrograde, and retrogrades aren't anything to be feared. I actually welcome them because it's another opportunity to go back to things from the past. Everything is in the present moment. So looking at, okay, this hasn't been addressed yet. This hasn't been acknowledged yet. This hasn't been accepted yet. This hasn't been integrated yet. This hasn't been acknowledged yet. So going in, where I'm going with this is really going in and trusting, what's coming through. And even from my own personal experiences, it was taking full ownership and having full acceptance in a zero judgment environment and saying, wow, okay, I'm creating this, or I created this wall, or I created this block, or I attracted in this person. So hopefully that resonates with you, Sandy. It's more of, you know, what's coming through for you at this present time, and through your intention, through your free will, and to make those choices, you can discern and choose to take what resonates and discard the rest. So you're very welcome. Let's see. Hi, Stephanie. General reading. Okay. So Stephanie, what I'm getting for you is this is surrounding matters of love, surrounding matters of the heart, and there's some deep inner work that you're being called to do. So very much like I shared with Sandy, and I'm getting major goosebumps with this. I truly believe that each and every experience that I've had, and as I am a walking testimonial and I'm sharing these different things with all of you, it's always with my heartfelt intention that through my trials and tribulations, if you will, and experiences, again, realizing it's not a one size fits all, that as you embark deeper, you say yes to you, whether that's saying yes to starting your self-love journey, going in deeper and recognizing where those walls are, and when was the first time that you lost your connection to yourself. Like, that's really what's coming up for you right now, Stephanie. So if you find that there's patterns playing out, or you're literally coming back to the scene of, I call it the scene of the crime, like that feeling like, this again, this Mercury retrograde, again, I have to stress, it's not something to fear. The retrogrades unfortunately get a bad rap, but we are powerful manifestors. We are powerful creators. We have the power of intention. You have the power of intention to use this retrograde, to use this time period to your advantage, and to dig deeper. And if there's something, someone, a pattern coming up from your past, like going into this and saying, you know what, I'm gonna say yes to me, and I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna do this healing work, and I'm gonna start asking myself some questions of how is this serving me right now? Why does this keep coming up? And through that inner dialogue, letting that part of you speak to you. So if it's, you know, coming up through body pain, or if you find that things just, like, you feel like you're moving forward, but then you're snapped back by a set of circumstances, it's just an opportunity to go deeper. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, full description regarding Self-Love Academy, what that involves. In addition to all the other services, I invite you to take a look at that information. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So Connie, hi Connie. I recently heard the transition from here to there is going from our 3-dimensional understanding to multi-dimensional, multi-level reality too. So really, this is, I'm just going to try and break this down. Now, everyone has their own viewpoints and opinions about all this. It's not going to a physical place. All it is knowing that, for example, when I say I am made up, I'm a multi-dimensional being, but I'm here, I incarnated in this human body. So if we hold multiple universes within us, we're the creators of our own reality, and we realize where we've allowed and recognize how the old programming, all the old beliefs, all the old thought patterns, the 3D, if you will, you know, when people talk about breaking free from the matrix and the different mentalities and the programming and things that held us back and fear and all these other things that literally fill us up to the brim with all this stuff. And as we clear out the clutter and allow ourselves to allow this part of us, our internal navigation system, as things start to turn back on, we move forward, it's really following that inner sense of knowing. That's what the fifth dimension is all about. It's navigating through knowing. It's just a sometimes you don't even understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're just that you're being called to be at this place, or to do this next thing, or to step out of your comfort zone. And I actually shared this with one of my clients this week, that if you feel like you've done something before, or if you're getting glimpses of like a past version of you, time is irrelevant. Everything is existing in this now moment. So you're being shown you are remembering who you are and moving forward. So hopefully that makes sense. I mean, I can do a whole other deep dive on this subject, but just kind of giving you the tip of the iceberg of, what my thoughts are regarding this. And as the egoic self, the human mind, worked to keep us separated, we are moving into a space of non-duality, which is reconnection of self, having the intervention with self, calling all parts of self back into this vessel. And through that deep inner work that I've been talking about, whether it's embarking on, your self-love journey, really taking the time to honor what's coming up, talking to your own body, like, okay, there's pain in my leg today, right leg. Why is, what are the messages? What does this pain represent? Or what am I still holding on to? What am I in resistance of? And breaking it down into digestible chunks, and start to get a better understanding of how these different things are standing in your way, and how you may be self-sabotaging your own efforts. Instead of moving forward, you feel like I mentioned earlier, you feel like you're being snapped back into an old version of you. So hopefully that information resonates. You are very welcome, Sandy. Hi, Node. And then we have Mohit on here. Any message for you? So the message that's coming through for you, and I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Mohit or Mahit, beautiful name. The message is, follow the guidance of your soul. Trust what's coming through at this time. Again, this goes back to what I was sharing with Connie. Like, it can be no different than a subtle whisper, or you have a sensation like, oh, okay, these are the next steps, or even writing it down. Or you may get what I'm getting additionally for you in this message is, you may get some insights that come through when there's less chatter in the mind. Having like you can have a little flashlight. That's my little trick. Rather than turning on a big light where it just wakes you up out of a deep sleep, if you're finding that you're waking up like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., that's when soul is very active, and you're receiving insights, you're receiving guidance. There's messages that may come through for you. So have the little flashlight, have the pen nearby, have the little piece of paper, a little notebook, and jot down some insights. Or even if it comes through in a dream, you may find that you're doing some deep inner work in your sleep state, like kind of like going back to school, if you will. So the dreams are different, and it's really taking a look at, okay, how does this apply to me and my life and where I'm being guided and what I'm being guided to do next. So you may find that there's little golden nuggets of wisdom that come through. And I will tell you from my own personal experiences, as much as we like to try to say, oh, I'll remember this later. If you don't jot it down, it's as soon as you wake up, it's like poof out of your head, and you're on to the next day. The other part of this, Mahit, is I feel like chanting would be very powerful for you. And that's actually something that I found that has been uh, deeply resonating with my soul, like Indian chants and ancient chants, chanting, even the word Om, listening to different things, like having it on in the background, or the sound of the flute, or just, but chanting overall, and the different words that come through, so very powerful. And knowing that through sound and receiving that sound at the deepest cellular level can make some pretty transformational changes. And most recently, even for me, I found that I tapped into and remembered another, actually, several versions of me. And I think I mentioned this last week, going back to Egyptian timelines, versions of me, and now sharing those sounds. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where at the time, it's like, well, this is different than what I've been doing, but I followed that, and I just knew that I was meant to record that, share that information, not only listen to the playback for myself, but share it with others. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, I would highly encourage you to take a look at that. That's the Ancient Healing Sounds. It's available here on my YouTube channel. And I believe I also shared it on Facebook. So hopefully these messages resonate with you, Mahit. Stephanie and Ice. Follow. Yes, you can definitely ask a question here. Your questions here, Ice. And I see Mahit. Yes, perfect. Yeah, taking the time to write those things down will make a difference. So if there's anyone that's just hopping on, this is your opportunity to ask a question. There's something that you'd like, deeper insights, greater understanding, clarity in your life, ask the question. The universe has answers, and I'm simply stepping in and as my higher self and sharing the information that's coming through today, or perhaps there's a loved one that you'd like to connect with today. So I have, as I'm just waiting for the feed to update, one thing that I will share that's been coming through, and I actually have not shared this yet on any of my other platforms. This is beautiful visit that I've had. Now, I have to preface this by saying that this is not the first time that I was visited by Princess Diana, but as my gifts turn back online, I mean, fully back online, and since her passing, when she came through this week, the energy was even different. Like, she was really focusing on the emphasis of this inner peace. So really going deeper. And I'm getting major goosebumps as I share this information. Like I really felt like I was being guided to share the information on this platform today and just talk openly about it. Like if you have this tug of war going on within, if you have this war going on within, if you have these imbalances going on within, if you're feminine and masculine aspects aren't getting along and you haven't had that like union of self come together, you're going to see disharmony outside of you. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier, as you make peace with this and everything that's going on within, you will start to see a reflection of that in your outer world. And I will continue to repeat that message over and over and over again, because that was the light bulb moment that came on for me. And even having that inner dialogue with myself within this past week, like, wow, it was just a reminder again of the message that I shared earlier. You can't outrun yourself. Sooner or later, you have to face the music, and you meet yourself in the mirror. You meet yourself in the mirrors of everyone outside of you. And with this beautiful retrograde season that we're going through, and different things that are coming through, and almost like like a little voice is saying, remember me? I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere yet. So it's coming to terms with what's currently going on in your life. When you look at major things, or if you're working through a rock bottom, or if you're working through a dark night of the soul, if you're trying to work through your self-love journey, incorporate more self-care practices on a daily basis, like making yourself a priority. And that beautiful energy that came through this week from Princess Diana was all about inner peace and coming home to self. And the changes that you want to see out here start in here. And I really truly feel that deeply in my heart and soul. So if there are any other, if anyone wants to ask any additional questions, I'm going to see if I missed any here. Okay, and hopefully the feed is updating. It seems a little bit slow on this end. And hopefully the sound is okay. If somebody can give me a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. There's nothing worse when the connection isn't coming through. Okay, so there is a question from Connie. So are you looking, Connie, are you looking for a message from your guide, or are you asking me like literally if there's question or messages coming through from my guide? So if you can clarify that, that would be wonderful. I will share that this is this year, I really feel like, last year was a roller coaster ride, even for myself included. Like I had my high highs, I had my low lows, and kind of in between. And this journey isn't all just about the wins and the happy days, but it's also working through the days when you don't feel so great, and taking that time to honor you and what's coming through. And I will personally share that I've had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate, like, okay, what's working, what isn't, what do I need to switch up, and go deeper and look at, even things that I thought that had been fully addressed. There were still some remnants, or things that, as I mentioned earlier, that were an eye opener, and really practicing what I preach, if you will, and to to go in deep into the abyss and not being afraid of it, having the courage and knowing through the power of intention, knowing that I am creating all of this, and each and every one of you is also creating your own reality, knowing that if you don't like your current set of circumstances, or you want to rewrite your story, if you will, you have the power to do so. And through your intention, through your inner work, through your consistency, through your dedication, and continuing to work on you, however you get from point A to point C, it's different for each and every one of us. It's continuing to say, yes, 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 I'm going to do this, but also knowing that you're going to have bumps along the way. And there's going to be some days where you say, no, thank you, or I need a timeout, or I need to get some extra sleep. I need to take a nap. I need to spend some time working on, X, Y, Z. So hopefully that makes sense. I really feel like there was somebody out there that needed to hear this message. Okay, so Connie, yours would be nice to hear from. So Connie, what I'm getting for you is in the times when when you might be feeling isolated, or you might be feeling alone. I'm going to come back to what I was sharing earlier in this live, is have some of that inner dialogue with yourself. Writing, at least I've found with my own personal journey, writing is so powerful, because having the mental conversation is one thing, but when you actually see it on paper, like something tangible, something you can hold in your hands, it's showing you like, oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that. And even asking yourself the question, like, why do I keep doing what I'm doing, or what is the lesson in this, or what am I meant to learn from this, or why am I feeling stuck right now? Or it can be anything. Like, pose it in the form of a question. Take your pen to paper. Before answering the question, and even before writing things down, take a deep breath in, several deep breaths if you have to. Breath in, followed by a breath out, and another breath in, followed by a breath out, and being present for yourself. And even imagine grounding your energy. See, the breath work and the grounding techniques, and even using your imagination, just imagine that you're connecting your energy to Mother Earth's energy, becoming one. And then writing these things out in the form of a question, and then breaking it down, and not even thinking about it after you write down the question, ask the question, and just let your pen speak to you and start writing out the information. If there's body pain, or if you're working through any kind of illness right now, whatever it is, speak to your body, have a conversation with your body, and pose it again in the form of a question, writing it down, and then letting the information come through. You may have some aha moments from this, is what I'm hearing from this exercise. And knowing that I don't even use, when I work with my clients, I refrain from using the word homework. I use fun work, like turning it into a game so it's fun. Another way that I like to work with things is I'll create flashcards. I remember as a child working with flashcards, and that was a lot of fun. So you can work with different colors, or you can just simply grab pen to paper and just start writing and see what comes through. But that is going to the breath work, the grounding, the writing, taking this time for deeper inner reflection right now, Connie, is what's coming through for you right now. And going deeper and getting a better understanding as far as in the season that we're in, like how this season is what is being shown to you, what is being reflected to you. So hopefully that resonates with you. Hi, Shaylee. I'm wonderful. How are you? If you have a question, Shaylee, you're more than welcome, and you're more than welcome to ask your question. And I see from Mahit. Oh, you're very welcome, Mahit. Very, very welcome. And I'm just going to check to see if there's any other questions coming in right now. I will be on for another 25 minutes. So if you have another question that you'd like to ask, feel free to type it in. Or if there's someone that you would like to connect with or receive some guidance from one of your guides, ask the question. Oh, Shaylee, thank you. I am surviving. I hear you. I see you. Yeah, these are some pretty interesting times, and it may feel like turbulence to some of us right now based on what's coming through. So Shaylee's question is there a possibility of reconciliation between Alex and I? So Shaylee, what's coming through is this is really the theme that's coming through today on this live, and the words are matters of the heart, going into your heart and looking at the walls that you've created around your own heart. You are not responsible for your significant other's healing journey, but there is that connection. The connection of love can never be broken. But right now, this time and space is an opportunity for you to dig deeper, go into that self-love journey that I've been talking about, and really get a better understanding as far as what are these walls, what are they made out of. And typically there's a lot of grief there's a lot of sadness, like there's things that have been there that you may not even be aware of. There's things that may be coming up and being presented to you at this time that are coming into your awareness for deeper healing and for some acceptance work, and calling home those missing versions of you. And you can use, I like to use different visual techniques. Again, going back to our beautiful, powerful brains, the brain doesn't know the difference between real or imagination. So you can create a sanctuary for yourself through the power of your imagination, Shaylee, and just imagine your serenity, your oasis, your space, and have this dialogue with yourself, and even work with your pain body, work with your wounded inner child, and ask her to show you where or when was I disconnected from self? What is the lesson in this time and space right now between you and Alex? And again, I'm going to bring that up again, pen to paper, and write down the information that comes through, and becoming your own best friend, reuniting with yourself, and creating that reconciliation, becoming your own soulmate. When you reconcile with all of you, you start tearing down those walls around your heart. You recognize where that buried grief is, that sadness, and start working on bringing home those broken versions of you, the fractals of you, and start feeling whole again. Your outer reality will also start to change. And there is really, a beautiful big picture to all of this, and why you came into each other's lives. So, all is not lost. However, at this point in time, what I'm hearing for you is go in deeper, and start asking yourself these questions, like, what is the the message in all this? What is the lesson in all of this? And trusting your inner knowing and your guidance, and looking at this as an opportunity for greater awareness for you, and spending time with your beautiful inner child, and to feel whole again, to feel safe again, and imagine your feminine counterpart and your masculine counterpart coming back together in harmony. I love imagining the infinity symbol. Love it so much. I, have it tattooed on my forearm, truth be told. But it's that balance, and bringing all parties back together. So hopefully this message makes sense, Shaylee, and I'm definitely sending you lots of love. I am reading your post, Shaylee, but everything that is coming through is from the heart. There is something deeper that you're being asked to go into. There's some resistance, and I hear you, I see you, but there is a part of you that is in resistance right now. So you're being asked to go deeper, and I may be the trigger today, but in a trigger is the opportunity to face yourself in the mirror and go deeper, because there's a bigger lesson in all of this. And I'm speaking from my own personal experiences. I truly, truly am. So Connie is asking the question, is it okay to have a curiosity about our previous lives, or is that something we should serve? Oh, good question, Connie. Because time is irrelevant, and past, present, future is all in this now moment, that we are working with all versions of self. So explore is what I'm hearing, because everything is in this now moment. So all of who you've been, anything that you've ever been, any past lifetime, anything that you've experienced in this lifetime, there's also a version of you that already exists, known as your higher self. They're all working together. So if you find that, and I actually shared this earlier this week, if you find that you're getting like a flashback, or you have this like I call it the resonance of your soul, like you feel like, this feels familiar, I feel like I've done this before. It's because you have, in another version of you, but it's through that state of awareness and remembrance, like remembering who you are, and working with these all these versions of you. And as you do this shadow work that I talk about, like calling home those missing aspects of self, bringing them home, can even, imagine this version of you in front of you, like a parent to a child or a guardian to a child, and absorbing or bringing this part of you back into your heart, and feeling whole again, feeling complete again, but also taking time to listen to the messages that are coming through with zero judgment, no matter what the message is that comes through for you, and just recognizing that it is you. And it's, if there's anything that is density or that feels stuck, or we refer to darkness, it all it is an absence of light. It's an absence of love. And as you call home these missing aspects of yourself, those are the very pieces that hold. I always get the vision of a key, that hold the keys, that have your intuition, your greatest insights and inspiration and guidance of who you truly are, and using that information to not only embark on your own journey, but okay, how can I use how am I being called to step up today, or level up, or show up, or use my gifts and abilities to not only help myself, but how can I help others? That is, indeed how my Self-Love Academy was birthed, as I called home those missing aspects of myself. I had that huge light bulb moment, like, okay, this is just the next logical step, where it was just moving forward and allowing the information to come through. So again, pen to paper, writing down as the information comes through. So hopefully that makes sense. So with that, it's, I know you're asking the question, Connie, how do you do that? Just, there's different meditations that you can go through. I have meditations that are available. If you find that you're having a hard time quieting the chatter in your mind, there are different videos that you can watch to help get you into that meditative state, even daydreaming, or even just asking yourself the question, like, what version of me is trying to get my attention right now? Or through your own curiosity, if you find that you are drawn to, like, for example, I found for the longest time that I was drawn to Egyptian things and decorations. Well, because I had lifetimes in Egypt, and now as more things are being uncovered, remembered, if you will, am using those gifts and abilities and sharing this inner knowing, sharing these gifts, sharing the sounds that are coming out of my own body to help others. So there's different things that I offer on YouTube. You can also take a look at, there's a lot of information also online. So that's like a whole other segment in itself. So I'm just kind of giving you the tip of the iceberg on how to do this work, Connie. I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions that are coming through. So we've got a little less than 15 minutes. So if there is someone out there that has another question, or someone that's just hopping on, if you have a question, feel free to type it in, and the universe has answers. So for Connie, what I'm going to do for you today is, and it's funny because I had a feeling, again, that inner knowing that I knew that I wasn't going to be like, the whole point of this live Q&A is, this isn't oracle card readings, but I am being guided to grab an oracle card deck, and I will share a message, just a quick 1-card pull. And then Lockie, I will share a reading for you, and Gloria. So bear with me for one moment. I'm just going to grab that deck. Okay, so as I am, this 1-card pull is specifically going to be for Connie. So as I'm shuffling the deck for Connie, just to give you a quick glimpse into one of your past lifetimes, and you can explore on this further and see how that resonates with you. So for Lockie, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Lockie. What I'm hearing is you are about to embark on some brand new beginnings. It may feel brand new to you, but in many respects, it is resonating with your soul. It's actually something that you have done before, but in this lifetime, it's going to feel like it's something new. But through that, you're going to receive the insights, you're going to receive the guidance. You are fully supported, is what I'm hearing, on this new adventure. And through that, you're not only going to help deepen your own awareness and practices, but through this modality, you're also going to be helping others. I feel like there's a component of children involved in this. So I don't know if you currently have children or if you just resonate with children, or perhaps it's helping others with their deeper awareness of inner child woundings. And like, for example, coming up with an idea that will help others with healing their little girl within or the little boy within. So just bringing that into your awareness, that isn't something that you are already aware of, you soon will be. And this, like, I literally see this coming in for you. How it's coming through as a visual is, if you feel like there were some doors that closed, there's a new door that's open, and all you have to do is walk through it and say yes. So beautiful message. Oh, perfect. I'm glad I pronounced your name correctly. Hello, Gloria. All right. So for Connie, the one card that's coming through, and the deck that I'm using, it's the Past Life Oracle cards. And there is a man by the name of, this is an older Doreen Virtue deck that I have. I haven't used it for a long time, but there is an MD by the name of Brian Weiss, and he did a lot of studies surrounding past lives, and it's a lot of information. So if you'd like to explore that further, there is information online. And I also believe that there's God, I can picture it. I would type his name in, and you can explore that deeper as far as other tools that are available to you. So the card that's coming through right now for you, Connie, is lessons and blessings. I'm just going to go to the guidebook, and that's the word that's been coming up for each and every one of us. Whether you have heard it or not, you are hearing it today. I know that I have heard it. Like, what's the lesson in this? What am I meant to learn from this? Why do I keep creating this? Why do I keep doing this? Or why does this keep showing up in my life? Oh, you're very welcome, Lockie. You're very, very welcome. Glad that resonated with you. Okay, so Connie, this card was drawn as a sign that the situation you're currently experiencing is a result of prior lifetimes. Take a look at the other cards that you drew along with this one to get a sense of where or when that life occurred. Now, again, we're pulling the one card. The other cards, it's actually going to be through your pen to paper and having that inner dialogue with yourself. Go deeper and pose it in the form of a question. Allow yourself to answer your own question. Tap into this. So this, as I read this, what I'm hearing is this isn't just for you, Connie. This is for all of us, myself included, and there's a lot to be said from this message. This card means that you learned important lessons which are bringing blessings to your present lifetime. Congratulations. You mastered how to turn painful events and memories into growth experiences. You can apply the same strength to every area of your life. And I feel like I feel so emotional right now. I mean, I actually feel like I'm gonna cry. My eyes are just, I'm really feeling this. This resonates here, just based on some things that came through even for me these past few days, and really saying yes, doing the inner work, and continuing to look at taking accountability and responsibility, and realizing that, as much as we like to point the finger and say, well, this person did this to me, or it's their fault, or it's this situation created this, we are manifesting every single thing. We are co-creating with the universe. So it that is the hard truth. But in that inner knowing, and that's when I had my light bulb moment, like, wow, okay, if I'm creating all of this, I also have the means and the power within and through my intention to, I don't like this, I can change this and go deeper and getting a better understanding as far as through the body, how the pain body is speaking to you, how the egoic self is showing up. Are there any areas in your life that are, excuse me, that are where you're self-sabotaging, where you're, finding that you're moving forward, but then you're holding yourself back? So a lot of, beautiful information that came through today. I'm actually we are getting to the golden hour, as I like to call it. I'm actually going to share one more message, see what comes through. And I just, want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you that showed up for today's Q&A. And as time moves forward, I'm going to evaluate, if I'm going to be doing these. Right now, it's being guided to do these weekly. If it's going to be bi-weekly, once a month. Things are constantly changing for me. Things are constantly changing for you. I've just learned to go with the ebb and the flow, not to be in control of the outcome. So as I'm changing, our world is changing, our inner world is changing, this is also changing. So stay tuned. If you're not already connected with me on Facebook, feel free to like it, love it, share it. If you're not already connected with me on YouTube, subscribe today and stay connected whenever I go live and share information, meditations. There's a lot of information already out there. All right, so the last card that is coming up is Spouse. And this is actually the first time that I have pulled this card since I've owned this deck. So we're just going to go to the book. And this last message is actually going to conclude today's live. So again, thank you for joining me. All right, so Spouse. You drew this card because your question relates to a marriage relationship in this life or a previous one. Perhaps your current spouse is someone with whom you shared a romance or relationship before. If you're single at present, your future spouse is likely from your past lifetimes. In some cases, lovers reunite across centuries and share an undying bond of true love. This is what is usually referred to as a soulmate. So drawing this card can signify that the person you are inquiring about is, in fact, that individual. So there you go. Again, take what resonates from today's live Q&A, discard the rest. Hopefully you got something from this. Again, any question that was asked today, it's not only for you, the answer that comes through from the universe, it can apply to each and every one of us, just based on what season we're in our life. And again, for more information regarding me, my practice, more information regarding the self-love journey, quantum life coaching, and energy healing, and your own personalized psychic and or medium reading, I invite you to take a look at my website, which is angelikhands.com. That's ANGELIKHANDS.com. Much love to all of you. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you.